What's good, people? Uncle Hotep back at it again. Happy Saturday. Actually, it's Sunday right now. It's 1:24 in the morning. Just got back from watching well, it was my girl's birthdays in December, and I got her. She wanted tickets to see Young Jeezy. I'm like, oh my god. I was like, man, I don't be ducking shots. Psych. They went. We went. It was no problem, but it was cool. I like Jeezy. I'm not as big as Jeezy fan as her, but I mean, he's cool in my book. He got some good work. But anyway, came back home. Nothing. No drama. T Grizzly was there. Opened up. No drama. It was kind of crowded. It was sold out, man. It was. If you partake in hip hop music and you like Young Jeezy, I suggest seeing him live because he's pretty good. But anyway, to the point of the video, I up my Twitter and I got a couple video requests, and one I'm going to do right now. Somebody from Twitter asked me. I'm not going to say that person's at unless they tell me to. I'll put it in the comment section. But he says, assuming you weren't woke from birth. If you were, then I guess I'll have to come up with a different topic. At any rate, in regards to your political awakening, what, when, where, why did it happen, and how do you think it was affected your life since then? Looking forward to hearing about it. Stay up. I mean, this is kind of difficult. Political awakening is depends how you take that. Being black in America, depending on if you have like a father in your life or a somewhat woke parent, that'll affect your decisions on things. I don't think I was ever the leftist like that or today. I came up in a different era, in the 80s and 90s, there was, after that Malcolm X film, Spike did, there was a real wave of Afrocentrism from, how the Akata portrays it, that militant, mindset, I was kind of leaning towards that way. The Farrakhan's, Dr. Khalid Muhammad's. I didn't ever take the step like, man, I'm gonna go full bore. I was just like, I don't know about the religion thing, but I always listened to what they had to say. As far as that, so I kind of wasn't kind of woke. I was in the Air Force for a bit. Worked in the jail for a bit. Then I got into computers. When the computer bit wave hit, this was right before, the 2K thing and everything else. I would say the biggest event was 9/11. You know what I mean? Because it to me it was like I can't believe the way it was portrayed, the way it was said, done. I was like, nah, man, I'm not going. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. And that took me down the realm of like looking. I was on forums and stuff like that, and then that instance combined, there was a web forum, and this was I swear to y'all, man, it was libertyforum.org. It was like I guess it was a libertarian website. I'm dying to find somebody that used to go to that website. I haven't found anybody yet. I'd even love to find the posters that were in the website. I never posted, but they would talk about things. It was like poll, but poll is so race driven. Sometimes you'll get some gems about what's really going on in the world. That's what libertyforum.org was. I mean, they still had, there was some racial thing to it, but it wasn't even. It wasn't the most important thing. See, poll, the race is some of the posters, the race thing aspect is the most important when it's. I mean, everybody has their opinion. I happen to don't think it's as important as other stuff. But because if you stop the other stuff, then that racial portion will go away. You'll biting at the tail when you should bite at the head, but they don't want to do that because I'm not gonna get into that. But that was the two things that made me politically my political awakening. Those two things, 9/11 and the internet, is probably the better answer since the internet came popping. You'll find, I used to read antiwar.com all day. I used to read whatreallyhappened.com all day, and then those were in Liberty Forum. Those three sites I used to. I remember them. I remember those days vividly. You know what I mean? And this made me look back at other things in history, in America. That's probably where I got my. Now, how did it affect me afterwards? Since then. That's a tough question. I was always been a cynic, I guess. I didn't come up in the Cosby household, so I always felt that played a part in it, because I could see where people was like, oh man, y'all living way out in the burbs and stuff like that, and inside the house it wasn't how would you say, the book, you can't judge a book by its cover, you know what I'm saying? So I was always that way, so I don't think it affected me that much. There was a lot of stuff I didn't believe in anyway, just about the nature of me, how I am, I guess. I don't know, maybe being a Capricorn is probably part of it too, I think that is, but I definitely don't, I don't. It's not as trusting. Well, I don't know how to say it. I definitely don't try to red pill people. I think sometimes I used to, but then I realized people don't want to get red pilled. Like if people red pill, if people want the knowledge, they'll come and get it. Because a lot of people, I think they know this shit is fucked up. But people don't care. So I stopped caring. I'm like, I don't. Like if I do it, it's like matter of factly. I don't try to actively try to red pill people. I just say, if they ask me an opinion on it or something, I'll say something, or I'll say something matter of factly. But I guess maybe if the way it affected me, I became more cynical. I think I might try to. I try to joke about. The only person I probably try to red pill is my mom, because I know it's not. She ain't gonna believe me anyway. She might. I just want to see where her head's at on some things, but that's the only one because I just like to throw ideas off her head, and she usually shoots her down or no. I don't know. But sometimes it's shocking shit. Sometimes she'd be like, yeah, what I mean. So it's a surprise to me, but. I don't think it has changed me that much because just being the person I am, what I mean. One black American, so I think any black American that has any sense of history will look at this country a little different than anyone else. So I think it's easier to be politically awakened if you're black. But that's the thing. If you don't fall into the group thing, if you have a black person outside the group thing, you already know he's woke. Outside the group thing, he's woke. It's matter of fact. It's just fact. That's what kills me. I see all the time. Like, I didn't know. Hotep was woke on certain. The QJ question. The QJ question. I'm like, man, y'all get the hell out of here. We've been woke on that, man. Nobody listen. Don't listen to Negroes. Y'all didn't listen to Negroes. You didn't. I mean, that's what happened, man. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think my true political awakening. What else? There might have been a couple other things, Rand Paul and Obama was probably big. You know what I mean? It's a big awakening. Bill Cooper helped in the awakening. Ryan Dawson. Malcolm. All that stuff. But the big things were the 9/11 and the internet, and libertyforum.org was a big one. Was the big one, because everybody wanted to know what happened, and you always had the mainstream ones, and now you notice how that the powers that be will put a theory in there just to throw people off the scent, or make them look crazy. But these people were actually doing some real work and some real groundwork, and made sensible things. And even that, I read about the USS Liberty on that site. And you ask people that, they don't know anything about it. I've talked to people that are in the Navy, didn't know anything about it. Didn't know anything about it. That's how well hidden they can make things. You can make things. The media can make things. They just don't talk about it. They can make it seem like the police are killing black men in a genocide, or they can change it tomorrow if they started doing it and say, nah, they ain't killing no blacks, no Negroes, no shines. So those are the things. I hope I answered your question. I greatly appreciate you asking me. Hey, if people want to ask me things to make a video outside, the stream that I do, just hit me up on Twitter, or you can hit me up on Facebook. If you hit me on Facebook, give me a review, man. I really appreciate it. Give me a like, give me a review. I greatly appreciate it. Anyway, this is Uncle Hotep. You can donate, Patreon, PayPal. I greatly appreciate it. Follow me on Twitter, Handyman Uncle Hotep. I'm on BitChute, you know what I mean? So follow me on there if y'all on there. Make her support my podcast. Damn, I gotta do another podcast tomorrow. I'm back doing the podcast, and this is a pain in the ass because I got too much. I might just knock it out now. I don't know. Anyway, this is Uncle Hotep. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.